Well, there is definitely a slowdown in the U.S. job market, but we cannot term it as a collapse as of 2024. Let's get a more nuanced perspective on how the job market is performing. The latest report released by outplacement company Challenger, Gray & Christmas mentioned that layoffs in the United States soared in January 2024. And guess what? It has reached the highest peak in a decade. The report mentioned a 136% increase from December 2023, with declared job cuts totaling 82,307. This alarming increase marks the most significant monthly increase since March 2023. Employers in the financial and technology sectors have announced a significant 23,238 job cuts, thus revealing a huge rise that is more than doubling the figures from the last year. The surge in layoffs is due to several factors. One can blame it on the election year, or the companies trying to change their policies that are affecting the industries in general. Moreover, these layoffs are also caused by huge economic trends and a strategic move towards the rise of automation and AI adoption in several sectors. In several cases, companies are also blaming the cost-cutting measures for survival. With the financial and technology sectors hit majorly, employers are also quoting restructuring and closure of units as some of the reasons for layoffs. Well-known companies in recent times have announced shedding jobs such as United Parcel Service, technology giants Amazon, Alphabet, and Microsoft, along with PayPal Holdings Inc. Tech workers have been badly hit in the U.S. in the last 2 years. It looks like a never-ending wave of job losses that has created a new culture in Silicon Valley. America's richest and most powerful companies are showing doors to several talented people that are difficult to digest, not only for them, but also others who take inspiration from them to study, work hard, and attain jobs in these companies. Sadly, when rumors were doing the rounds about economic recession in the U.S. since last year, tech companies laid off more than 60,000 employees as per layoff tracker Layoffs FA. Overhiring during the pandemic was said to be one of the reasons for the job cuts, along with high interest rates that were making it challenging to invest in new business ventures. However, even when 2024 started and layoffs are still being announced, despite the stabilizing interest rates and the booming job market in other industries, Amazon Chief Financial Officer Brian Olsavsky also mentioned how they are going to be really very careful on their investment options, and also they will invest in only those new areas that resonate with customers. In his words to the Washington Post, "We're going to continue to be careful on what we invest in, and we're going to continue to invest in new things and new areas and things that resonate with customers. And where we can find efficiencies and do more with less, we're going to do that as well," said Mark Zandi, chief economist at Moody's Analytics. That is the way the American capitalist system works. It's ruthless when it gets down to striving for profitability and creating wealth. It redirects resources very rapidly from one place to another. Not just job cuts, but the shine has been removed from the tech industry that used to boost flashy perks and steady employment. Google and Meta in the last few years have reduced employee perks such as free laundry, free massages, and food and fitness offerings. It looks like the tech lifestyle has changed forever since the time mass layoffs were announced. Job insecurity is quite evident in the tech and finance industry, which used to boast of hefty packages and eye-grabbing titles before the pandemic times. Global uncertainties are what is keeping investors and businesses under caution mode and thus impacting job creation. Obviously, the effect of the slowdown has created chaos in the job market in the U.S. Tighter financial conditions and stagnant growth are some of the reasons why there are still rumors about an expected recession to take place in the U.S. still doing the rounds. The job losses across different sectors are not limited, but widespread. There is no denial of the involvement of artificial intelligence and automation in displacing some jobs while also creating newer ones. Rising trade limitations and protectionism are also some reasons that are changing the global supply chains and affecting industries and jobs that are quite dependent on international trade. This is possibly creating chaos in the job market of what sort of jobs should be designed for employees to be hired and made to work on. No wonder there is a demographic shift in which the aging population and decreasing birth rates are leading to labor shortages in a few sectors. It is also impacting the healthcare and social security systems. Sectors like technology, finance, and retail have noticed major layoffs, while healthcare, education, and hospitality still reveal hiring activity, but in a slower mode. It is difficult to jump to the conclusion that the U.S. job market has collapsed. But yeah, if the widespread job layoffs and their related threats don't stop sooner, The present economic landscape will surely face a collapse in the long run, even if not immediately. Yeah, no wonder the future remains uncertain, but dealing with such a toxic economic situation is not something that can be handled easily for any common man. The government should definitely intervene in the situation and come up with programs and courses that will equip not just the existing learners, but also those who are jobless and staying back at home. Companies should come up with in-demand courses and skill sets that unemployed people can learn and try out for alternative careers rather than facing doom in their careers. If one employee takes over $1 million as his package just because he has that level of experience, then efforts should be put into hiring 10 freshers under him so that they can learn from him and also gain new skills and experience. Putting the work toll on one person and making him only rich doesn't sound like a good policy decision. In fact, HR executives should design jobs as a teamwork wherein there is a healthy work-life balance among all employees, thus creating more jobs in the company. More job opportunities should be created in the form of self-employment, entrepreneurship, and encouraging people to learn and earn their livelihood. Reskilling and upskilling programs for employees should be introduced so that they learn to adapt and become flexible in any given situation. Matt Schopner, senior economist at U.S. Bank. Improving labor participation is one way to address the tightness in the labor market that's propping up wage gains. As clearly mentioned, the more laborers are asked to take up new roles, the more the industries will prosper without facing any hindrances in their operations. Probably, the U.S. job market could undergo different situations if the trend continues rather than a total collapse. There may be a situation in which the Fed controls inflation tactfully, thus stopping the recession from occurring. In this scenario, there may be slow job growth, but the unemployment rate doesn't increase drastically, thus getting into a soft landing situation. Another scenario can be in which inflation increases extremely along with stagnant economic growth, thus leading to the same wages and job losses in a few sectors, creating a huge economic challenge. Or there can be a moderate recession mode in which after jobs are cut, some amount of recovery happens depending on the government's invention through its policy changes. Or there can be a situation in which the job market goes through an amazing restructuring process based on the AI adoption, changing consumer preferences along with reskilling and upskilling done in the right manner. A suggestion to the policymakers is this: if they address the problems in an efficient manner and also convert the challenges into opportunities for the job market industry, then these uncertain times can be explored in a mature and resilient manner. It takes efforts from all sides to build an equitable future for everyone, and it is not just about the U.S. economic downturn that will impact jobs, but the job market all over the globe that will go through a transformation. Yeah, that's why the perceptions of stability have to be changed in such a manner that employees embrace this change wholeheartedly and are willing to reskill their careers and jobs. If you liked watching our video, click on like and subscribe to our channel.